Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Coffee and Co-op. I'm your host Nate, and we're going to get into level 2 with Blockade. I got my camera set up for today. I wanted to make sure I could make sure the first video was 4K, but I didn't have everything else set up. Look, I was kind of excited, and yesterday ended up being a bit of a busy day. I didn't stream. It was my wife's birthday. We went out to Korean barbecue. Her parents came down. We went and got some beers. It was a good time. It was a good time. They, they chauffeured us around a little bit, and we got to have some fun. So we had a nice end to the July, and it's August, which is kind of crazy to think about. Stormgate is gonna go like free to play in a couple weeks, August 13th. That's also gonna be around the same time that Madden drops. Looks like we're teamed up with an Amara and an Oralana. So I've got a lot of stuff to be excited about there. Football season is coming up. You guys know I'm a big Jets fan, so I love finding out every year how our team is gonna let us down and destroy us. So yesterday I did my first ever co-op game. Which map is this? Kill the enemy commander, keep your commander alive. Oh, is this the map that's kind of... They said there's one that's kind of like a MOBA, right? It's like a 3-lane kind of push.
Point secured.
That feels like a good mission to do the mass super ship, the helicarriers. Maybe we'll do that, our helicarrier strategy.
Capture point secured.
This is our land.
We help them take the point, right? Because that's what a good teammate would do. That's what. Did I steal the money by getting the last hit? Am I going to hell forever? Well, I guess I'm playing Stormgate, so in a way, you know, I think hell's kind of included there, right? It's not a big part of the marketing here. Okay, I was like, is that a real base? Is there something I can take here? I don't think so.
Our forces are under attack.
I've been hearing people say the Celestials are pretty good, though. I think I was taking a look at the top of the leaderboards or the rankings. The Celestials are pretty high up there.
This is our land.
I think they're so different
under
compared to
attack.
the other factions and what people are familiar with in RTS, though, that it's like almost has to be expected at some point. Just fully saturate before you take that, Nate. Just do it, okay? It's not a big deal.
Allies are under attack.
I feel like I want to spend my Illuminate, but I also I just have more to do over here. So I'm playing Brutal this time. I played hard mode yesterday. Yesterday we had the one where we had to clear out all the zombies.
Allies are under attack.
I got you.
Had to clear out all the infested, like the Dead of Night mission from StarCraft 2. That was pretty fun. That was a really difficult mission. I learned that in co-op, you don't get eliminated if all your buildings are destroyed, and you only get eliminated if everybody's buildings all get destroyed. So that's nice. Maybe they'll change that at some point. But I just had 4 helicarriers and nothing else, and my one teammate with his flying arc ship was keeping us in the game. And you know, actually got quite a bit more intense for a co-op match than I thought it would. And I think when looking back on the beta and how things have kind of changed coming into the early access launch and this week and stuff, obviously lots of people have different opinions about all sorts of different things. So I'm not really here to platform those ideas, but I do think that the performance is something that they've made some progress on. It's probably one of the more noticeable aspects for me, if I'm being honest. I just feel like it's been running really smooth. Why would I get that? I'm going for the big ships. Just go straight to hangar base. That's it. The only thing I need is to secure more resources so that I can acquire more Therium, so that I can make more of those big flying ship guys. That's really it. That's my MO. Take out the watchtower. Yeah, let's do it. I can heal his units. So this is kind of where I get my value. This is where I'm making valuable. Just throw some heals onto his brutes. Just keep him going. Nathan, that is the AI. That is like the minions that are being spawned for you. That's not your teammates' units. Did you just realize that? No? No, I knew that. I knew that none of my teammates were orcs. I knew there wasn't you couldn't just play as I knew that, guys. That didn't catch me off guard. Did you really think I was being serious there for a second?
Upgrade.
Like I thought that these were my teammates' units? You're adorable. Almost had you for a second, huh? What you think? You really think I could mix
Allies are
something up
under
like
attack.
that? Me, of all people? Albert Wesker wannabe, Nathanias.
Capture point contested.
Radiant will.
Capture.
They won't get
I
past.
was gonna
Allies
say
under
the
attack.
redemption rift, so he can still do the thing where he teleports to a friendly unit to attack. It's kind of like Shen Ultimate.
Complete. Construction complete.
I have yet
Allies
to
under
see.
attack.
I've yet to see them put Malzahar in this game though, so you know that's we'll have to see what the RTS equivalent of that ever ends up being. But, you know, healing your AI teammates units, it doesn't make you a
Allies are
bad
under
person.
attack.
Right now.
Well, logistically and efficiency speaking wise, maybe it makes no
Upgrade
sense.
complete.
Maybe there is no real logical path that can be taken there to justify my actions, but at the same time,
Allies are under attack.
maybe it doesn't have to,
Left,
right?
right, left. Shoving
Maybe
on.
we just have to dare. Just have to dare to do the thing that we shouldn't.
Shoving on. Fighting the good
I hope you
fight.
guys have been having a good time checking out Stormgate.
Allies are under
Obviously, getting back into doing like these little morning co-op videos is something that I really wanted to do, and I'm not going to stream any of this. This is just me talking to whoever's up in the morning with me. I think yesterday's video went live at like 2 o'clock though, because the 4K took forever to process. So I'm recording this right now at 7:30 a.m. So I am awake. I made a little cold brew guy. I have like a little cold brew jug in the fridge, and I cut
Capture
it
point contested.
1 part
Capture
coffee,
point
3
secured.
parts water. So it's only about 25% of this was cold brew, and I watered it down entirely. So that way, yeah, that way you
Allies
get a
are
nice
under
little
attack.
kick, but it's also not like too much, and it's light enough that if I decide I want a little bit more later when I stream, because I'm, you know, it's in 5 hours is probably when I'm going to stream today,
Now you're talking.
right? So
Allies are
if I'm going to
under
go from
attack.
noon to 4, then I've got a little bit of time before I'm getting on. So that's part of my process now. Is kind of spacing everything out. I walked Lewis, my golden retriever. I took him for a walk this morning. There was one of our neighbors that has
Capture
2
point
German
secured.
shepherds, and they came out. They turned the corner. They were all barking at each other. Lewis is always trying to play with every other dog that he can. That's like
Allies
his
are
whole
under
thing.
attack.
That's his whole thing. Any opportunity that my dog gets to try and
This is our
bait
land.
your dog into playing with him, he
This
goes
is
for it.
our land.
Like, we were just too nice to him as pup,
Allies
so
are under
he
attack.
knows. He knows if he begs
Capture
or
point
whines enough,
secured.
he tries to
Radiant will.
he tries to control his destiny a little bit. Nanite infused armor, nanites, courtesy of Ray Palmer. Wow, we got CW references in here.
Energy.
Didn't they name the cat that you unlock by watching the game? Isn't that
Allies
named
are
like
under
Rizzy? Isn't
attack.
named Rizzy Kitty?
Capture point secured.
I got you. Radiant
Incredible.
highly motivated. Shoving on.
At some point, I hope we can just unlock the
Allies
sound
are
effects,
under
you know, so
attack.
like when I win the game, instead of playing a regular victory horn, it just plays like music straight from TikTok, you know, just give me that little boo thing. We gotta get,
Allies are un-
it's like, yeah, it's
Capture
a really
point
hardcore cutthroat 1v1 experience, but at the same time, if what you want to do is hit the gritty on somebody after you cannon rush them and spank them, you can do
Allies
that.
are under attack.
So I was like, oh, I never knew that's what I wanted to do.
Left, right, left. This is our land.
Katie,
Allies are
my
under
wife,
attack.
said that we might do. She wants me to teach her the game. She wants me to teach her how to play the game. She's a little self-conscious about learning it on stream, but she wants to play. She wants to at least play some co-op with me. She's like, "Oh, you're just gonna play co-op games by yourself with strangers for these videos all the time?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Allies are under attack.
She's like, "What if people like grief you or something?" And I was like, I don't worry about that." And she's like, "Can I just play with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." There's the buddy bot, and she's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Well, you don't have to build
Under
anything. Apparently, they have a bot that just makes everything for you and use micro units." And I said, "I think it was the my wife doesn't want to learn strategy games but still wants to play games with me button."
Helium.
She was like,
Allies are
"Thank
under
you,
attack.
thank you."
Radiant
So we haven't messed with the buddy bot yet, but we'll probably try it just to see what it looks like to try and play a game of co-op with the 2 of us and
Allies
just
are
see.
under attack.
She's a good League of Legends player. She's pretty good in most of the games that we played.
Attack.
Radiant will. Radiant will.
Totally, my recording crashed for this. Since I started to tried to record stuff in
Allies are under
4K
attack.
again, sometimes it derps a little bit on me, but my editing magic should just make it just kind of skip a little bit, the tiniest bit, and then I stop talking about it and drawing attention to it. So yeah, so
Allies
probably end up
under
playing some
attack.
co-op with Katie, and I'm pretty pumped about
Jumping up.
getting back on the ladder grind. Pretty pumped about that. I know a lot, people were hitting me up about yesterday, and I was like, well, hey, you know, I got some things, I got some priorities in my life, but August is gonna be a big Stormgate month for us, so.
Allies are under attack.
People are like, oh, what about this? What about this? What about the money? Oh, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, I don't know, you know. Don't. Yeah. What is it? L plus no one asked kind of a thing. I'm like, I'm just here to kind of play the game. I like playing the game. I'll say that much. I don't know if they're gonna make bajillions of dollars and be around forever, but I do enjoy playing the video game. So I'm just gonna try and do that and continue to do
Allies
that.
are under attack.
And hopefully, you know, if all things go well, if I become happy and successful in my life, then that means that I will be playing the video game and having a good time. So
Our forces
that's
are under
that's
attack.
kind of where my head's at with all of this anyway.
Insufficient.
I hope you guys have been
thorium.
enjoying the early access period. I definitely think that there's
Allies are
you
under
know a lot of
attack.
interesting conversations that are happening around the game. That's always nice to see. It's always nice to see. This is a really interesting concept for a co-op map too, to kind of turn it into a MOBA-esque
under
game.
attack.
Since we don't have the map editor in the game yet, this is more or less the only real way to get an experience of kind of like that team, the big team
Allies
game
are under
aspect.
attack.
Like you'd almost imagine, hey, what if they made it like, what if this is actually a 3v3 map, right? Like for all we know, that's partially what they're testing with this concept. So I don't know.
Allies
It's kind
are
of
under
a
attack.
cool food for thought if that's what it ends up being. Not that the 3v3 needs to be this, but that this, I mean, this is in the co-op queue on launch. So I think that says a lot about the level
Hero
of
respawn.
stuff they're willing to try. The only thing I'm missing, well, I guess technically there are jungle camps. The only thing I'm missing is some guy screaming at the top of his lungs about how he's not going to
Under
become a
attack.
pro gamer because he loses this random match. Oh, is that the commander? I think we did it. I think we're there, boys. I got carried pretty hard by my team. They're pretty high level. Shout out to my
Construction
team.
complete.
Shout out to the helicarriers. I'd also like to say that. I mean, helicarriers are just pretty cool.
Our forces are under attack.
I was going to try really hard not to be interested in the tier 3 air units for Vanguard.
Allies are under attack.
I was going to try really hard not to like let people think I cared too much. But then all of a sudden it was like helicarriers. And I was like, well, they're not a battlecruiser, so at least people will stop bugging me about battlecruisers forever. And then now actually they are kind of like battlecruisers with the shoot while move being big and slow. And of course they got a badonkadonk like the airship from the Avengers, but that's today's
Allies
coffee and
are under
co-op.
attack.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. What do you think about that map? I mean, it's so obviously not a traditional co-op map, but at the same time, to me, that makes it the most different from anything I've seen in StarCraft 2. Do I want more like that? Maybe, yeah. What do you think? Talk to me. All right, catch you on the flip side, dog.